Good evening and welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. I forgot to start the game right before this. There we go. Welcome, Dr. Ardum. How you doing? This is the Nexus Gaming Series. On the left-hand side, we've got the members of Reborn Knights Black, and on the right is going to be the members of NUES. This is a Division B East matchup for the Nexus Gaming Series, as I mentioned before, and Bandit is like freaking out as we go live here. You okay, bud? What are you doing? Like twisting around. I don't get what's... You okay? Hey, bud. All right. Yeah, we don't have a bracket because this is the Nexus Gaming Series, so it's just overall weeks of stuff, of games and games and games. I do believe you can check that out on the Nexus Gaming Series website. Punchy Chaos, thank you so much for the follow as we get right into this. Flame up a little bit here. So that is going to be a Samurai ban going out against the members of NUES, as well as the members themselves banning out the Diablo. But we actually have some map bans we can talk about, so let's go ahead and pop over to that screen really quick, take a peek at the map bans that did happen here. We did have the coin flip won by the members of NUES. They opted for first pick. That gives the order of operations over to Reborn Knights Black, so they banned out Battlefield of Eternity. Towers of Doom was banned out by NUES, and Sky Temple, chosen by the members of Reborn Knights Black. We go ahead, let's get back into this draft as we have the first pick coming out for NUES, and it's going to be a Nubrak. We also had a Maiev and a Zeratul being banned out there. Rio Kai, what's up? Thanks for coming by, bud. Good to see you again. Okay. All the bans are done. We're going to be going into Sky Temple. I just realized, I was like, why is it so quiet? There we go. All right, I was like, I knew I forgot something in the background there, so now we actually have some music. Sorry about that one. Okay, so a Nubrak, really good setup and dive, as well as those beetles are quite a nuisance to deal with. I might see a high priority coming out from Reborn Knights Black for a Li Ming to have that disintegrate, but they do pick up the Falstad Dahaka on the 1-2. Looking for that double global threat. I wonder if they go into a Brightwing at all. Falstad does offer a lot of good control with the Gust, as well as boss control is a huge factor on a map like this. We do have the next two pickups that are coming out from NUES. They've got a Nubrak. The follow-up damage that they can pick up with that is either Ana or Ana or the Tyrande. And I was thinking Ana because she's got some decent lockdown. Eye of Horus is extremely powerful here, and it is not banned. The only two bans that we have are Lucio and Chromie. And I do believe it's because the reworks. Also, Abathur and Lucio have a weird interaction, so that kind of just mitigates that one completely. But that's going to be an Abathur on Sky Temple is very good. The scenes are so good. Oh, I'm so glad, DJ. Thanks for coming by. Glad you're enjoying the stream. Okay. Fans coming out. They actually take out the Greymane here. I was thinking that they would actually go for Li Ming because of just... Actually, I mean, there's a lot of things you could have banned out. I think it's just Greymane's the thing they didn't want to deal with. Because, like, double Genji with the Abathur, terrifying. Double Tyrande... Not Tyrande. Already been picked up. Double Li Ming is terrifying. Double Genji, as I said. There's a lot of really, really good options overall. But so they'll take out the Greymane. They just don't want to have that double Worgen dive onto them. Last ban out will be the Ana because they don't have a support themselves. They could have actually gone for the Brightwing ban. I don't know if it would have been worthwhile, but it's kind of 50-50 in that situation, I guess. It really just depends because they could just go triple global, and that's going to be a little difficult to deal with. I personally would not want to go against that, but it changes from player to player and team to team what they prioritize. The other thing too is I'm thinking a lot about point control, boss control, because that is a lot of the name of the game on Sky Temple. Sorry, I'm just trying to also make sure I'm in the right channel so I can see anything that I might be missing. Nice pickup onto the Jaina as well as the Rhaegar. A lot of good damage coming out. They'll need to round that draft out with a main tank, and we'll find out what that is in just a moment. But you have these last two picks coming out from NUES, and it's going to be a Cho'Gath. No, anyway. Not with this. No, I don't think with this composition they would go for it. Now the Abathur, they're going to need something to clone with that. Double Genji is really good here. They actually could pick up a Hanzo as well, but they might want something still a little frontliney, maybe an Imperius or a Sonya. I still think the Genji. Ooh. Okay, so double Kerrigan or double Jimmy right click. Or even double Nubrak. Like there's a lot of good options here. I wouldn't do double Tyrande, but still. Kerrigan, Raynor, that's a nice combo here. This last pickup though coming out from Reborn Knights Black, I personally say they gotta go for a main tank here. Could go for something along the lines of Garrosh. Displacement would be pretty strong with the rest of the team. They can then pick one off with that. Diablo is banned out. I'd say Garrosh. You could go Arthas if you wanted. Blaze has been played here and there, but that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Hey, Night Night, what's up? Thanks for coming by. I hope you're having a great day, bud. That's a pretty good draft. I actually like that. I think the Joanna fits into the composition really, really good here. Overall, it pairs well into how Dahaka can get the tongue drag. She has the condemn, the slow. Jaina pairs well into slows right there. Fawcett has slows on top of that. They could have gone into a realm of Phoenix if they really wanted to, but overall, I think both teams got what they wanted. The Kerrigan Rainer coming up from NUES is going to be really interesting. I always love a good Kerrigan game. So, and Abathur on top of that is just going to add more fire to the mixture here as we get into Sky Temple in just a second. This is, yeah, I like this. I like both these drafts. I think the teams got everything that they wanted, and we'll see how the execution's going to come down. The Rhaegar is, I wouldn't say an odd priority because of the fact that you just have so many options. Just like booked it up. My parents are visiting, and anytime my mom gets up and moves, he's just like, oh, am I going to get a treat? So he's all pumped about that, so he just ran. You will not be seeing much of him this evening, probably. Either way, thanks for coming by. Thanks for checking out the games. This is a Division B matchup between Reborn Knights Black and NUES. This is game number 1 in our best of 3 series. Let's go ahead and get into this as we have loaded right into the game. On the left-hand side, we are going to be having the members of Reborn Knights Black. Crafty Devil going to be on the Joanna. Rabid Penguin going to be on the Jaina. The Pie Maker is going to be on the Falstead. Souls Kiddo, I think is what it is going to be on the Rhaegar and Hadouken Phoenix. It's Hooked on Phoenix. I read Hadouken Phoenix, and I was very happy about that. But either way, it's going to be on the Dahaka. On the right-hand side, we've got the members of NUES with Chaotic Order going to be on the Abathur. Moving down to the bottom lane, we have Antenacity. I'm always going to say that wrong. I apologize. It's going to be on the Tyrande. Chaos Dude will be on the Anubrak. Shadowstep is going to be on that Rainer. And Fade on the Kerrigan. Let's go ahead. Check out this bottom lane. I guess you could call it a cheese here because they're going to go ahead and burn down this front gate. Tyrande with the Sentinel just to try and get a dismount. And they're just saying, you know what, we're going to push right into mid. Abathur goes straight into top lane as Dahaka is going to be pushing into them. They take out the tower. They back right out as that might have been a little too risky to stay farther there. Need a cleanse into a noob Tyrande? Yeah, that is very true. That is very, very true, Ryokai. I was not thinking about the cleanse factor of needing to be able to get right out of that. Now they chase okay, I was gonna say, you gonna chase Joanna there a little bit? No. Okay. But I mean, you don't need cleanse if you have gust. You just gust that away every single time. That's what you do. You just bank on 10, you feed until 10, and then you just win the game over once you get your heroics. And a new wreck gonna be diving in. Kerrigan combo coming out. Huge Tyrande's Lunar Flare as well, and there's so much good damage coming out, but they do not end up getting the pick. Later on in the game, that is gonna be a lot of good damage coming out in the favor of NUES, but Reborn Knights Black, we'll see what they're able to do here as Falstead did go into the Wingman, so we're going to be seeing that increased damage on the Lightning Rod, and holy crap, Chaos Dude is going to be diving in here. Crafty Devil in the backline is going to be doing the best they can. That's also going to be the burrow out from Dahaka. Nice knockback coming out from Shadow Step before the Tongue Drag could potentially connect, and we just see the Siege Giants going to be rotating into lane, picked up in favor for the members of Reborn Knights Black. Hey, Zul Rules, what's up? Is Rhaegar better than Uther here? I think the chain heal is way more impactful for them, and I think the ancestor healing into the big blow up that they can put out is going to be a better tool. Granted, yeah, I understand that they're being divine shield and you can mitigate healing, but there isn't really anything to mitigate. There's no Ana going up against them, so there's no biotic grenade going to be coming out and just completely ripping that apart, or the Decker Cane to come out and give an emerald right before ancestral connects, and then that's completely mitigated. So gust every 10 seconds, easy. Yeah, you know, 60-second cooldown. Use it every 10 seconds. But yeah, no, I think I like the Rhaegar here. Personally, I would have said more of like a Stukov or Alex Strauss in this situation, but then again, it goes back to the point of there was no cleanse on Stukov or Alex Strauss. They would have had to be really, really on point with the well, for at least Stukov, just the lurking arm. Alex Strauss would have been a lot more just zone control, Shadow Step. Oh, and that's where Rhaegar gets the value. Butt bite. Uther can't bite butts. Just feed until 20. Exactly. I think that's the motto for my own gameplay myself. Lunar Flare going to be coming out in this top lane. Chaos Dude going to be rotating in. Burrow Charge in. Won't be connecting onto anyone. Temples will be activating at this time. Dahaka rotates right up into that top. We already have the members in mid. Crafty Devil just going to be mounted on that Unicorn. Just wait for them to hit them, and they'll just auto onto this. That's Joanna, so they'll be able to do fine. Falstead, the Pie Maker, is going to be picking up a lot of stacks and making sure that this Abathur value in bottom lane isn't going to be just pushing too much into them and stacking up, because that's the big thing with Abathur is once you get a lot of momentum in your favor and a lot of good pressure coming into the lane, well, it's really where you start to amount and get way too much damage to the enemy team. We are going to be seeing the Adrenal Overload for the Abathur as well, so going to be looking for those extra auto attack speed coming out onto whoever they get it on, but that's Shadow Step taking a lot of damage here. No hat on them just yet. The rest of the team is going to be coming in and trying to get some damage. It's going to be Tyrande still running away, but they're able just to get the heals out here and there. Chaos Dude taking a lot of damage. The Abathur hat is going to be pretty good. Impale coming out as well. Both of these temples haven't been finished out, so either team can get the last extra shots. You can actually see, if you didn't know this, on the temple it actually reads how many shots you have left, so they just want it over. They get the shots because now they finished that out, and it gets the last 5, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, there's a little bit left on top lane. It looks like Dahaka will go ahead and do the exact same thing. They walk off because you don't really need to do much more after you take those. They take out the top lane fort. Mid lane's a little weakened, and going into an Abathur composition, this is what you want to do as quickly as possible. The reason is once Abathur hits 7, they typically pick up Mule and can heal up buildings with mules. So getting rid of some of the front buildings before that level 7 hits is huge for them, because now, watch this, you're going to see Mule come out. It's probably going to be dropped into mid lane. You can actually see it right there. And so they'll be able to get this back up to full. Now Abathur has 2 kind of safe areas to stay, and that's part of the name of the game when you're playing an Abathur, is keeping your lane so far forward so that way you yourself can stay forward on the map. Dahaka going to continue to push up. Phoenix is doing a really good job of that. Just making sure there's constant pressure through the lane. That's just a critical tool when you're actually playing that global hero. See what they're able to do here as they're going to rotate down on the side of NUES, maybe looking for a pick onto the Pie Maker, but the shot calls, or at least the communication coming out from the team, has been really clear on the side of, actually, to be honest, both. I mean, NUES is communicating very well as Reborn Knights Black. We only have 1 death thus far. It's in favor for the members. Oh, hold on. That's the Burrow going to be going in, diving with the Kerrigan. A lot of good damage will be there onto Solskiddo, but they won't get the kill. Nice. Ooh, hold on. The Impale and everything. The Abathur hat, they do confirm the kill onto Jaina. They even up the score here. That's going to be 1-1. So we have the bottom lane temple opening up fairly soon, and 10s are not too far off. But with all of the rotation and soak that they've been putting out, this is going to be Dahaka giving a lot of good experience to the friendly team, and they have about a level lead overall. We'll go ahead and take a peek at the actual experience and how it's coming in. Dahaka with 5,000 experience for the friendly team. Abathur just about right there as well, not too far off. But we can already see that there's a major deficit in the passive experience gained from that top lane fort, as well as the mercenary camps for the members of Reborn Knights Black. It's a lot of experience at this point. You can still snowball games. Like, that was the one thing that they were just like, oh, we're gonna make sure that isn't a big thing. And like, yeah, it's more difficult to snowball games, but I think there are ways to play into it. Playing aggressive in the early game, taking down structures, and getting mercenary camps, that is a big way to run away with a lead in this game. Dive going out, oh, that's a lot. Oh, nice use of the Burrow right there, but they don't have any sort of other stall. They couldn't go into the bush. They're going to get pulled right back in. They're trying to get the Burrow out in time, but it's not going to happen. Dahaka tried to bait everything they could, and while all that was happening, it did give time over to the members of Reborn Knights Black to sit onto this point, so they'll be going through a little bit of it here. They're going to back off as they don't have their Dahaka. The thing is, though, Dahaka will be up in 8 seconds. They'll have the brush stock. This is a pretty good point for Dahaka to brush stock in. There's a couple of bushes for them to enter in on. If the team comes in and just banks on that, they'll be right on time. So here we go. We actually have the 10s achieved for both these teams. Let's pull away the talents and everything. We'll take a peek at those in just a second. Gust from the Falstad and everything. We could see a flight coming in. Temple will get into that lower part. They either need to make a play or they just need to back off and just go up for soak. The Hawk hasn't shown in a lane or anything. Falstad just kind of sharking around. That's going to be a lot of damage. Clan goes out as well. Gust goes out. Oh my god. They still get the kill. Abathur is going to end up getting the kill with the clone onto the Kerrigan there. And now we're going to be seeing the web wrap ending, and that's going to be the Greymane going... Greymane? That's going to be the Rhaegar going down. Hugely nice, has a good comeback value, but at least they're up early. Abathur can bring this back. It's just, at this point, it's going to be a little difficult. Now, here's the thing. they're gonna be winning in a little bit of these late game fights, it seems. At least, and this is what I was talking about when it came to burst earlier in the game when we almost saw a kill, but the members, like 3 members, got like stunned. All 3 got stunned by Nubrek, Harrigan, and Tyrande, and I was like, just wait till we get to the late game. Once we get past 10, that's gonna be a completely different story, and that's exactly what we just saw. Nubrek with the burrow. They're just constantly pushing up top lane. We can actually take a peek at just the mini-map. You can see Dahaka sitting in that bush, making sure they're getting this experience, but also making sure that Abathur is mitigated as much as possible. Bottom lane fort does go down, and they've evened out that experience, as I talked about before. Let's go ahead and actually take a peek at that right now as we're about to hit those level 13s. There is the deficit we saw between the 2 teams. While there are some different numbers in minions, passive, all of that, look at the jump in heroic kills at the top of that bar there. That is so much experience coming in. 3,000 for the friendly team. And now they push into mid. They want to open this up as much as possible, get a little bit of a map advantage themselves. Go ahead and pull back to the talents here. As we didn't really go through the 10s, it doesn't look like there's anything too out of the ordinary. Maelstrom for that Kerrigan, Starfall from the Tyrande. Just siege right in here. Bro forward onto the Pie Maker. Gus will be there. They have the cleanse as well. That's going to be the Starfall on top. And Sister healing onto them so they can continue to fight. Chaotic Order does clone the Kerrigan, who is going to be ending that Maelstrom now. But Chaotic Order is trying to dive in. That Abathur is going to get some decent value here. And the one thing that you can actually note is this does give you a little bit of experience when it comes to the team. So if you just let it die out instead of forcing and just soaking, trying to get the kill, it doesn't really give over much experience at all on the enemy side. But they'll still hit 13s. This is going to be even talent tiers and a double temple phase coming up here as the Bruiser camp's picked up in top lane. There's a lot of good pressure coming on this late game from NUES. We'll have to see how Reborn Knights Black are able to respond to it. They end up taking down 2 forts really, really quickly after achieving their level 10s, and this momentum is starting to go over in their favor. But as I said before, the experience and the damage done between the 2 teams is very, very, very close. I just look, Joanna has the most heroic damage on their team. That is insane. That's some Joanna damage right there. The most heroic damage is out of the main tank. That's crazy to me. That's going to be top temple grab by the Kerrigan. Looks like Dahaka's going to be on the bottom. They're trying to open this up and make Abathur's life a little bit harder. This Mule doing as much as they can, but it's just about to end. You can see that little yellow bar going down, and now this is going to be top temple taking out, potentially taking out top lane fort. Yeah, they just give that over. Abathur gives over bottom lane. Okay, sorry. I was trying to hear if there was something in the background, and I do have this. Okay, I think I got rid of it. Sorry, there was a little bit of like an audio crackle, and it's just. No, it's definitely still there. Hold on. All right, we're gonna drop audio for a second. Hold tight. Okay. All right, cool. We got everything back. We got the desktop audio. All the popping is gone. Sorry about that. It's something weird with the focus rate. I've been trying to figure it out. There's no Google search that can help me at this point. All right, we do have Phoenix pushing out this bottom lane. 3 forts are gone on both sides. Structures are still even. You have a little bit of this already coming up from NUES. Now they don't fall for it. They take the long rotation into the mid lane. They're going to group up here. Jaina did finish out on their I can't think of the name off the top of my head. Fingers of Frost at level 1, so they're going to be having those 20 stacks onto that. Tyrande's scouting out the siege camp. I actually thought a Nubrek was on it for a second. And just you can see this slow play between both the teams. They don't want to step into a bush and get caught out of position here. Abathur needs to deal with top lane as Dahaka's pushing that up. Shield glare into the bush. Tyrande Sentinels scouting out a few others as well. Looks like they'll move into mid lane. They'll look for their 16s at a Nubrek. I was wondering if they were going into bottom. This is just... Burrow charge forward. They're just spawning these beetles everywhere. 16s are going to be here in just a second, and we'll see what that will bring for the members for both teams. Dahaka once again pushing up this top lane. Mule doing the best that it can to make sure that this front gate stays alive. This is 16. Big power spike for a lot of teams here. We're actually going to be having the Northern Exposure, if I'm not right. Numbing Blast, excuse me. Northern Exposure is the bluer one out of the 2 blue ones. But they're going to go for that Numbing Blast. They're going to have the root there for a second to lock down a member. So it's just more control against this team that's going to have some dive and some burst, especially with some lockdown. Yeah, pretty nominal across the board. Let's just see what we're going to get here. Ring of Frost comes out, doesn't connect onto anyone. Burrow charge forward onto Jaina. The cleanse is there, but it's not going to keep them alive. Gust does go out, Ancestral Healing does connect. Now we have the Starfall coming out from the Tyrande. Kerrigan going to be diving in. That clone is now going to be up from Chaotic Order, and now they have the pressure onto Falstead. They end up getting the kill right there. They start to dive forward. Burrow charge forward as well, and now we're going to be seeing the members of NUES posture aggressively on this far side of the keep, and it looks like they want to try and end just after this. They've got a decent wave right underneath them as well. They've got a full minion wave and a catapult and 3 Siege Giants. 2 members dead. Burrow charge forward, follow up with the CC as well. It's going to be the knockback from Raynor to get extra damage. Burrow into the ground, tongue drag onto, I think, a minion there. Kerrigan is going to go ahead and just drive over right onto the keep, or excuse me, onto the core. 16 to 17. A couple members are going to be back in a second. Chaos Dude taking a lot of damage here. This, oh wait, hold on. Follow-up CC as well. Solo is going to go down, and that's going to be... Oh, Phoenix is going to get picked off as well, and now with a couple more deaths. Now, also it's going to be up in a second, but that's going to be a staggered out death from Jaina. Meanwhile, this core is starting to be barraged, and it's actually losing its core health very, very quickly. And they can turn on to end this core. It looks like they're trying to... Oh, Blessed Shield is going to be coming out from Crafty Devil. Chaos Dude taking a lot of damage. Web Wrap goes out at the last second to at least delay out that Falstead, and that will be game number 1 going over to NUES. GG. Well played. I didn't time that out good. Alrighty everyone, welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am your caster Bahamut. On the left hand side we've got the members of Reborn Knights Black, and on the right it is going to be NUES, and they are up a game in this best of 3 series. We'll see if they're able to clutch it out in 2, or if Reborn Knights are going to be taking us to that game number 3. Let's go ahead and take a peek at what the map bans were before we go ahead and get any further here. We had the coin flip won by the members of NUES. They opted for first pick. That gave the bans over to Reborn Knights Black, who banned out Battlefield of Eternity. NUES took out Towers of Doom. First map was Sky Temple, won by the members of NUES, and now they have opted for first pick on the side of Reborn Knights Black. So NUES has decided to take us to Infernal Shrines. Let's go ahead. We got our draft starting to unfold here behind us. Let's take a peek at that. Zeratul and Medivh going to be taken out here. Not feeling it. Stop banning my fun heroes is what Chaotic Order is going to be saying behind me. And then it just Crafty Devil puts fun. This ban coming out from NUES, they could take out something like a Gul'dan, anything strong in the shrines, or Diablo, or Garrosh, or Joanna. Joanna's actually not a bad idea if they don't plan to take it themselves. It's going to be Garrosh. Okay. Have a great time with your family. Thank you so much, Night Night. I appreciate that, bud. Also, Gustavov. I don't think. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for supporting the stream. Let's go ahead and get into this, as a new brick will be the priority on the side of Reborn Knights Black. This shines. They have the 1-2. I like the Joanna here, so you can group them up and then maybe you pick up a mage, or you pick up the Tyrande. Oh, okay, so they go for the Diablo and the Tyrande, so that makes sense. The Tyrande we just saw in the last game, so much power with that. They go for the Diablo, so they'll have the initiation with that. So it looks like they're showing a little bit of a dive composition, or at least the initiation of both of these compositions is very dive heavy. Question is how much they play into that. Do we see things like Imperius going to be popping up here for that bruiser role? Do we see something more along the lines of an Arthas to kind of have some lockdown with that? Maybe we'll find that out a little bit later, but we could see a priority onto the Ana here, which, yeah, I was about to say. That got banned out so quickly here, and if they didn't pick it up, I definitely would have expected NUES to be banning that out. So Jaina picked up with that, not a bad idea. They can go Eye of Horus, it's not banned anymore. We only have a ban on Delucio and Chromie for the Nexus Gaming Series. Yo, Kriv, what's up, bud? Thanks for coming by. Jaina Ana, great composition if they combo. Gustavo is the name. Kov is the Gustavo Kov. So I just added them together. Okay, well, thank you so much. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. Ana, Jaina gonna be grabbed with the Anubrek, not bad at all. We have a Blaze ban out with a Kerrigan. And even Phoenix from the opposing team, after they ban the Blaze, has stopped banning my fun heroes, and they respond with a Kerrigan ban. Abathur will be the priority there. I was wondering about that if they were going to go into it. Send NUES. That was really good, Kriv. Yeah, send it NUES. Because I glanced at that and I was like, oh. Hanzo will be grabbed as well with this composition so far. Not bad at all, providing good vision for the team. A little bit of poke. We'll see maybe the explosive arrows or the simple geometry build. Last two picks coming up from Reborn Knights Black, Rainers, and Leoric. Okay. I like the Leoric for the solo lane. Really great wave clear rotation, as well as the Entomb is such a powerful tool, but we get a Samuro picked up. Jaina was lackluster last match. Not sure they should have committed it so high. I could agree with that. But Samuro. I'm very excited about this. I'm glad to be getting this number 2. I think it's gonna be really, really cool. I hope Stark's watching. You know what? I'm gonna ping him. I'm just gonna ping him because there's a Samuro game. I feel like if I don't, it's a little rude. Sorry, I thought I had the spelling wrong. Wait a minute. Okay. Let's go. My chain of messages are Samuro, game, yeet. Yes. Alright. Yeah, I don't, like, I feel like it's rude if I don't tell Stark that there's a Samuro game happening on stream. Yo, Zoo rules. Alright, let's go ahead and get into this. On the left-hand side, we're going to be having the members of Reborn Knights Black with Hooked on Phoenix, which I've read the first time, and Hadouken Phoenix is so good. Sam and Abba, I'm excited about that. Crafty Devil will be on the Anubrek, the Pie Maker will be on the Rainer, Rabbit Penguin will be on the Jaina, and Solskido will be on the Ana. On the right-hand side, we are going to be having the members of NUES, with Shadowstep going to be on the Abathur, and Tenacity, sorry if I murdered it, is going to be on the Tyrande. We have Chaotic Order on the Samuro, Fade is going to be on the Hanzo, and Chaos Dude on the Diablo. I had to burp right there. I'm sorry. I peeked at the response and it was just very good because I remembered that they Stark, NUES and Ghillie Sharks played each other already, and they actually played a Samuro game into each other. Like, one team played it, then the other team played it, and it was just like, it was kind of like the battle for the best Samuro, and it was just really, really good to get it, like, the duality of it from both sides. Either way, we've got rotations coming out. Let's actually focus on that. We do have Way of the Blade, excuse me, Way of Illusion at level 1 for the Samuro here, so we're going to be trying to get those stacks coming out of the illusion form, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's when the mirror image critically strikes. That's what it is. I think that's a different talent when you actually come out of the shadowy form and get an attack on a hero. Either way, Hanzo is going to be going into the simple geometry at level 1. We have Jaina going to be going into the Fingers of Frost. Going up against this Leoric, they might be able to get a lot of those criticals against them, so that might not be too hard to stack. They're already sitting at, well, 4 stacks right there. But it's because Leoric can take a lot of damage and just kind of stand still a lot of the time. Might just be an easy way for them to play into that. We do have, however, they're going into the extra pressurized glands at level 1. So just, I think it's cooldown reduction as well as range. Yes. Hold on, overpower on the Crafty Devil. They're trying to make sure that they don't dive onto this point. They get in there, but it's a little bit too late. I like Hadouken Phoenix better too. Seriously, I don't know why. It's just, I read it wrong and now I'm just committed to that. But either way, Hooked on Phoenix. Which is still, in itself, very, very good, because it's like Hooked on Phonics. It's still very good. Alright, Rabbit Penguin gets pushed back here, and they're just going to be able to disengage. It's going to be Camp's Grab pushing to mid. They'll go ahead and get the clear. We actually have Samuro rotating back out into the bottom lane. Leoric is left on their own in the top, and this isn't really, I mean, they're not going to lose out too much here, unless they rotate someone up with this experience. Abathur does have the Hat Soak, but I don't know if that will count from just the gate. I think it has to be on a minion. So lose that on a little bit. It's just little bits of experience that it really starts to stack up against you. Abathur will also go ahead and port to top lane, and that's actually the lane of the... Interesting. Because usually you want your Abathur in the furthest out lane, so that way they can sit in this bottom physically. They can body soak this lane, hat soak this lane, or support the objective. We'll see what the members of NUES are going to do here. But this is going to be Samuro invaded on. They leave the clone behind, and that's going to be stolen away from them. Reborn Knights Black with a very strong invade in this bottom lane. Samuro just playing it safe, not staggering out of death or anything like that for an objective. This is also going to be a deathless game so far. 3 minutes in, first objective will be popping up. Let's go ahead and get into this. By that I mean I'm going to chug some tea because I know we're about to get into a brawl here. We'll pull away the talents. We don't have 7s for either team just yet. We'll take a peek at some of the other numbers right after that. A little bit of a pause on the shrine. Samuro's still showing in bottom, I do believe, yeah, because they're going to be right in those minion waves, so they know that they have the numbers advantage on the side of Reborn Knights Black. They're playing on the safe side of this. I like the way that their setup is. You can see right here, Solskiddo has a way out right into the gate. We have Rabbit Penguin still playing by the corner. Piemaker has some good CC and knockback, so they'll be able to just control themselves. They're playing a little bit further in, and Hadouken is Hooked on Phoenix is going to be getting some of that clear and now helping out with the lane soak. And you can see Crafty Devil anchoring. This is exactly how you want to do this as a team. Maybe not exactly. I'm not the official on that, but it's just really good posturing coming out, and it's just something to note that you can take into your own games here. If you're playing in a new bracket, you're playing the main tank, anchor for your friendly team like this. Make sure that no one's going to be engaging too easily onto you. It's little things, you know. If you're playing the Rainer, playing this back part, you have a nice out. And Ana, you can see right there, playing on the left-hand side of the entryway. It's just really good synergies and really good control. Samuro's still staying in this bottom lane. Looks like they really don't care on the side of NUES for the first objective. They give that over, 7-7 in levels. Lunar Flare going to be coming out from the Tyrande there. Also going to be throwing out the Sentinel. Punisher should have a jump in just a second, if I'm not mistaken. It's every 10 seconds, and there's going to be coming out. Crafty Devil gets onto that Chaos Dude as well. Not enough souls to bring them back, and so that's going to be the full death timer for that Diablo. And first kill of the game going over to the members of Reborn Knights Black, and they'll be able to take out a fort on top of this. That's huge for them. But we saw it in game number 1. Reborn Knights Black were extremely strong in the beginning of the game, and it's almost like NUES just banks on that 10 to 13 range when it comes to talent tiers, as well as the progression of the strength of the team actually really bolstering right around that point. And maybe that's just the kind of same case here, or we'll be seeing Reborn Knights Black take us to that game 3. It's very possible. They've got some great momentum. They've got good map control currently. Abathur is going to need to clear out that top lane as best as they can. Let's go ahead and actually take a peek at some of the other numbers as we rotate around this map, and we'll get back into rotations looking for more stacks, looking for that experience for level 10, and prepping for the second objective, which will be popping up in that mid lane in a few minutes here. I think we actually should be around the 7-minute mark, if I'm not mistaken. Diablo gonna get the fire stomp out, kind of show up a little bit. Just gonna be able to back right out of there. Sleep Dart goes out as well. Chaotic Order gonna drop a couple clones, just trying to get onto Hooked on Phoenix. Stack up that level 1 questing talent as quickly as possible, that Way of Illusion. Excuse me. I'm waiting on this bottom lane. How far are they going to push into it? They do have the camp going to be picked up by them. Let's go ahead and take a peek at some of the questing talents here, as we do have 17 out of the 20 stacks for the Jaina on that Fingers of Frost. We're going to be having 19 out of the 40 stacks, if I'm not mistaken, for the Way of Illusion. There's no real halfway mark at that point, or for that questing talent. The Hanzo did finish. Oh wait, hold on, a little bit of. I completely misjudged that on the map. I looked at Leoric there, and then I just saw the Samuro clone out, and I was like, oh wait, is there going to be a fight breaking out? Completely not even looking. But 10s are here for both teams. We have the Illusion Master. We have the Sarfall from the Tyrande. We're going to be having the Lightning Breath from that Diablo. Abathur with the clone, Hyperion out. Ooh, okay, so we are going to be going for the Nano Boost onto the Jaina, probably. Going to be looking for that cooldown reduction as well as the spell power, and then try and pair that into the combo that they're going to be running on the side of Reborn Knights Black. We're going to be seeing something along the lines of a Nubarek burrowing in, maybe a web wrap out onto probably Tyrande, so there's no healing. And then you'll see Hyperion on top of all that, Nano Boosted onto the Jaina, who can then dump all the damage inside that Entomb that a Hooked on Phoenix can drop. We actually have Samuro grabbing this right-hand Bruiser camp, as the mid lane is going to be the next, or the first. No, it's going to be the second objective. Okay. Hanzo sent out an arrow. We saw it on the minimap there for a second, but it didn't set them up for any sort of kill before this objective, which would have been huge for them, but unfortunately not the case. Samuro will be finishing this out not too far behind. But this is going to be a nice stacked up wave. Abathur is going to be doing their best to push this back, but it's just an Abathur, so they'll have to wait a couple seconds here. Objectives up. Let's see what we get for the initiation. 10s are here, so both teams do have that availability. Hanzo with the Sonic Arrow in for the scout. I'm waiting. Initiation with the Diablo. Sleep Dart. That's going to be the Lightning Breath coming out. That will also be the Ring of Frost going out. That's a big old burst onto the Diablo there. No souls to bring them back just yet. And that's going to be Shadow Step with that clone onto Samuro. Interesting choice of clones there. I mean, realistically, yeah, you're going to be having six samurai on the battlefield, which is a little terrifying, but they do get burned down fairly quickly, and that's just going to be ending now. And with that, it looks like it's going to be Reborn Knights Black taking second objective, pushing into mid lane with this completely different game than we saw in match number 1. Reborn Knights Black really starting to turn on the power in this game 3, and we'll see what they're able to do with this Frozen Punisher. Excuse me. Arcane Punisher. I was like, we just had a Frozen Punisher. That's why I was so confused. Sidewall was taken out. Chaos Dude going to be the target here. They're pushing them back to Rondo with the Lunar Flare to get the stun. Let's see. We actually see the flank coming out. The Sleep Dart does not connect, and they're just weaving and bobbing around. They actually dump a couple clones to move in. That also will be the jump. A burrow out from Crafty Devil. They also have the Impale, trying just to get this damage out and burn down the Immortal as quick as possible. Not going to be losing out the fort as quickly as last time, but it seems like they are still going to be losing it out here in mid, and that's going to be really good pressure in favor for the members of Reborn Knights Black. NUES needs to find a way back into this game. Not too far off when it comes to the experience. We can actually take a peek at that now. It's realistically the big deficit between the two are mercenaries and the passive experience gain that they're going to be achieving. Well, also the heroic kills too, as it's only 2 kills into the game, and they're both on the side of Reborn Knights Black. But as I said, 13s are not too far off on the side of NUES, so they'll just have to soak up a little bit more and wait to pick that up. Abathur going to be dumping the clone here. That's going to be the web rep going out into the Diablo. Hanzo with the arrow as well. Nano boost onto Rabid Penguin, who's staying alive, but they don't stay alive long enough. Jaina goes down with the trade of Samuro, and that's going to be the Leoric with the Entomb. Diablo will go down. That's full souls dumped, and now we have Shadow Step with that clone onto Samuro, trying to heckle onto some of the members, but it's not going to work out. Fade taking a lot of damage here. Hanzo needs to have an agility over the wall. Tries to trade out at least for... Oh my god, if they get the healing from the Abathur between and the Tyrande, that's insane. Fade had like a sliver of health at one point, and they didn't go down. That is insane right there. Oh my god. That was a really good back and forth for both of those teams. Though the big thing to note here is that Diablo did lose their souls. They don't have that instant revive anymore, and that, I wouldn't say was a crucial fight where giving over that revive is great. But hey, we'll see what happens here. Chaos Dude isn't as healthy as before, so they're going to want to watch their health bar here. They're going to be reinitiating once again, but you can see the Entomb comes out, and they know that they don't have much health to go with, and they'll end up staggering out a second death here, and that's not what you want to see. But when you play with such a high health pool for so long, you get used to being like, oh, I can dive in and Fire Stomp. Not going to be the case. And it might be something completely different. They might have just been like, oh yeah, we can take this fight. We've got a little bit of an advantage in this tight corridor. It didn't work out. The Abathur hat wasn't as powerful as they expected it to be in that situation, and that is Diablo going down once again. It's only sitting at 12 souls. And Chaotic Order will be trying to push up this top lane. Double stack up in mid with all of these Kaiser camp. It's a nice setup so far coming out from Reborn Knights Black. They definitely have the momentum to take us into that game number 3. You can already see them opening up bottom lane. This would be the expected lane for the next Punisher, but it is going to be top. We actually have a cycle. It hasn't actually hit bottom lane yet, but they want to open this up and get the periodic catapults here to have that extra added pressure. Now mid lane will be cleared out, and NUES will be able to burn down this camp. Leoric is going to try and add some extra pressure by grabbing this Bruiser camp for top. And I don't think anything in the bottom lane is available for, yep. Not for a minute, at least. Abathur in top. Need to find their level 16 soon. Or take a fight before that's going to be achieved on the side of Reborn Knights Black. But they know this, so they're just going to play safe. They're not going to be stepping too far out. And now we have Shrine activating. 16's almost here. Anubarak is already going to pressure up this lane a little bit further. Also take out the side walls. Yeah, but they're going to be doing their best to just push this back. And we actually have this camp going to be grabbed, and that will be staggered out. Sentinel going to be going out just to get some vision for the team. Samuro and a couple of the lanes just also going to be looking for that. They're just trying to soak up for 16 as quickly as possible. That's the big play. They are going to be having to give this over, and this is going to be a Mortar Punisher sieging in through the top lane. Mortar Punisher siege very well, so this is a little worrisome. I'm not going to lie. If you're on the side of NUES, you need to be making a play as quickly as possible here. Crafty Devil is going to anchor out, soak some damage, get healed up from Solskado, and here we go. Third Punisher of the game. Going over to the members of NUES. Oh god, I looked over at my OBS and I was just like, yeah, okay, that's the team. No, it's Reborn Knights Black. NUES is going to be having to sit on the defensive side here. 16s though for both teams. Let's go ahead and pull away the talents. Hyperion does come out, jump over the wall from the Punisher, and Nubrak will be diving forward as well, and Pale to follow up. Web rep out onto the Tyrande. They need to make sure that they burn that out. That also will be the Lightning Breath to try and do that exactly. Diablo's the first one to go down. They also pick up the Rainer. Ring of Frost does go out, doesn't connect onto anyone there. That's just so many members being so split apart. That is going to be the Ana going down, but Tyrande finds a death as well. Chaotic Order so very low. That is going to the Punisher, not able to get the kill, but the Spike Burst out from the Abathur will confirm the kill onto the Leoric there, just hanging on by a thread here. Chaotic Order will be going ahead and just diving around. That was a nice use of the illusion just to swap out also, and then Rabbit Penguin will be the target, but they have the ice block and they stand in that for so long. The arrow goes out, but it doesn't connect. Hanzo does not have an arrow to even try and like shoot it globally and maybe get the AoE burst and get the kill, but no. Jaina with like no health there is able to get out. Meanwhile, Abathur is going to continue to push out bottom lane. Let's actually cycle through some of the other stat numbers as we haven't had a chance to look at those in a little bit. 16 Samuro scary times. This is, yeah, like I'm expecting a dynamic shift to come out from NUES like we saw in the first game, but at this point, Reborn Knights Black, I'm not going to lie, they're playing a really smart game. They're doing everything that they want to do in a lot of these situations and not losing out very much. I mean, we just saw Crafty Devil literally just jump onto this point and they're only missing their Samuro, but they're just like, we can't take this fight. We can't take any sort of big dive and burst from them, so let's just back off and give over the camp, clear it out when it hits us in the lane, as Leoric will be picking up the siege camp on the left, and we actually don't see they're not going to grab the camp, but they are going to be taking down the fort as quickly as they can, because as I said before, bottom lane hasn't been popped yet for Punisher, and that will be the next one coming into the game in, I think it's like 1 minute and 30 if I'm not mistaken. Arrow from Hanzo. They have this shadow charge in, but the web rep does go out. Now they're all on their own. That will be the Starfall coming out from the Tyrande. Fade taking so much burst damage, and they end up getting that Hanzo. Chaos Dude is now out of the web rep. We currently have Shadow Step is going to be on the Samuro, but they actually have the true one, I guess you could call it, is going to be dealing damage as well. And now the Pie Maker very low. Chaos Dude in a bit of a bad spot. Tyrande not able to get the healing out in time, and that's Diablo going down. No souls, but Abathur does get the pick off onto the Rainer here, and now Rabbit Penguin seems to be the target, but Chaotic Order needs to switch off onto another target. Oof. Very close. Also, sitting at 84 stacks on that Diablo, so they did not have the availability for the revive. Meanwhile, in mid lane, Abathur trying to do their best, just trying to slug it out, and they're just like, well, this is all I can do for defense. Maybe I can throw some mines out underneath them, but hopefully they don't step forward in about a second when they kill this minion, and then it just... That is not the moment you want. Little Mule is going to come in here and do some work, and Chaotic Order rotates in, but this will be bottom lane camp grabbed and pushed in. This is a close game number 2. It's very in momentum and in favor for Reborn Knights Black. They'd have to drop the ball consistently and horribly on the side of Reborn Knights Black, because they've just got so many good advantages right now. Like, bottom lane's got consistent pressure, so does mid, so does top. Like, Abathur's not able to deal with all the camp pressure that's been applied across this map. This is, yeah. I really like the setup that we have so far between these two teams. They got to play on the back foot on the side of NUES, but we'll see what they're able to do with that. We do have Samuro going over, grabbing the camp on the right-hand side. A new brick going to be starting out on this shrine down in bottom lane. A little bit of Sentinel action coming out from Tyrande. They also do scout out this bush, and that is going to be the Frozen Punisher. 17 minutes in this game. As I said, it's like... Sam just walks into the backline and squishes him. That's the thing, is the Jaina isn't getting bursted down as quickly as I think they want it to. Oh my god, Crafty Devil, talk about being bursted. That will be the Ring of Frost going out. They still get the Anubrek. That is going to be a lot of damage onto Tyrande. She steps out, but that's going to be the blink forward from Rabbit Penguin. Might have been their own death as they actually end up going down. That is going to be 2-0, and this is what I was saying. They can't step out that far, but that's going to be the nano boost onto the Leoric is interesting. They do have one broom swipe to try and get a kill, but it's actually just going to be onto the Abathur clone, and now they walk back onto this point. They have this top lane pressure, so if Abathur can buff this up, this will be big for them. It looks like they're going to have some mines out, but this is going to be the Shaman very, very low, and they need to make sure that that's going to be healed up. Samuro going to be soaking up. We do have 20s picked up for both these teams. I was about to say, like, how did he lose? Oh, yeah. There's a little bit of a UI bug here and there. That's the fight that NUES wanted. Like 1000%. That is exactly the fight that they wanted. And they got it. They absolutely got everything they wanted right there. And they grab a Frozen Punisher 18 minutes into this game. Still 3 members down. They'll grab a camp to push in through mid lane. They could rotate a few members down. I think they're going to be using the Samuro swap. So they send one to core. They swap off. Then they swap back. And now they're full health. And they'll be able to join the friendly team and move in through mid. That's Stark switcheroo. I don't think that was actually it, though. I think it's at the last second before someone gets a kill onto you. I think that's what Gilly just defined it as. Bottom lane push, still going to be coming in here. They still have a fairly strong Immortal. Frozen Punisher, not Immortal. 84% sitting on that. Jump over the wall. That is going to be Leoric with the Wraith Walk out. Hyperion going to be coming out as well. That is going to be the... No, they're not going to have the upgrade onto it. So it's just going to be zoning a little bit, but realistically not getting much. They take out the front gate, and this Punisher will be baited over to the keep and completely burned down. I don't think that they can push in with this. They can buy some time, which will be nice because that gives time for Chaotic Order in mid lane to just grab this forward as well and even that out. Abathur in top lane. This is what you want to see an Abathur do right there. Just completely so far out into the lane, but also making sure that the lane gets pressured up. It's Bush Party. It's Bush Party, though. Huge flank. Hanzo with the arrow. Right in between everybody. Web Wrap goes out. Shadow Step with the clone. We have a lot of we have currently 6 monkeys just getting some damage out, but that's going to be the Buried Alive. That's going to be the Ring of Frost as well. Anna's the first one to go down. Lightning Breath coming out from the Diablo. Still getting there. That is going to be Samuro getting the kill onto Jaina. Leoric goes down as well. It's Hellgate forward, and they get the burst onto Anub'arak, and now the Pie Maker's the only one left alive. Samuro dives forward. Sentinel for the slow. They have the damage out from the Windwalk, and that is going to be all 5 members taken down here. They move on for keep, and with NUES taking, with the members of Reborn Knights Black with 40 seconds on average, basically, it looks like this is going to be the attempt for the game, and I wouldn't blame them because they've got some good damage out here. Samuro on the core is a very powerful tool. It looks like Mule's going to get called down as well. GGs are thrown out, and this is going to be game number 2 going over to NUES. They'll take the series 2-0. They'll continue their fairly strong streak. I have to look into this to see what their game stats are, but Jhow, holy crap, thank you so much for the host. GG's, well played. Thank you so much for the host, Jhow. 71. Everybody, welcome to the stream. We just ended that first set of games, so we have one more after this. Jhow, once again, thank you so much for the host, my friend. Welcome, everybody. Got him. Definitely did. I did not expect that right there. All right, let me go ahead and get Chaotic Order or somebody on the line here in just a second. I need to update the team score really quickly. And then, that's some stuff right there. Let me just, we'll find out. We roll in and Bahamut sounds like Southern Auctioneer. Dang, can you talk faster, please? I mean, I could. Tonight's a little bit of a slow night for me, but hey, we are currently joined by Chaotic Order. How are you doing? Detected. Oh, wow. Okay, sorry. Jhow hosted right at the end of that, and so the host kicked over as well as the raid at the same time. So thank you so much to Jhow for the raid and the host. As we have an interview with Chaotic Order, congratulations on your 2-0 series. How you feeling?
Honestly, kind of ashamed of myself. That was probably the worst Samuel game I've ever played, but the team just sort of carried me.
I gotta say, like, it was still a great setup to watch. We did have that Abathur Samuro come into this, and so I want to ask about that. Is that something you've been practicing playing, or was it just like, oh, we just want to have 6 monkeys across the board?
So we saw that they had 3 backline damage, and like we were planning on going Samuro anyways because they didn't ban it. But having Abathur and Samuro just means that we get so much split push, and that was like the intent, to be able to split push while like the team fight was going on. I don't think I managed to do it as effectively until like level 20, which is like something that I'll need to work on obviously, but we just decided, okay, if we can't do that, the best thing to do in this case is just to go off onto those 3 backline damage and just get major Samuro burst on them with Abathur clone. The goal was to just create as much chaos as possible in the team fight, so that way they didn't know like what to do or who to heal, and we could just get on them.
Is this Bush League?
That
just
was
finished a fun
sorry.
IRAM game with
Someone
JHOW,
just
but we
hosted
know
or
each other.
donated, and it's just very loud in my
Keep
headphones.
being beautiful.
No problem.
Sorry about that. Okay, no, it was actually, that was the one thing that I wanted to ask about is getting into that backline was actually really, really difficult throughout the early game, and you could see that Jaina was consistently getting the burn onto you specifically. Was it that 20 talent tier that pushed it? Was it just that one fight where she blinked forward and you got that initial burst onto your Nubrak initial, and then Jaina tried to get the kill onto Tyrande, but that just didn't work out? Was that the momentum shift, or was it just overall hitting 20 and you went from there? Can you talk a little bit about that end game?
So I think the second we hit 10, like we had a good enough like draft. Our goal was to get a Diablo engage into Tyrande stun and like wail away with Hanzo and Samuro damage on that target, and it should, like, no matter who we do it on, even if we do it on a Nubrak, they just should die. We never managed to get it going really until level 20.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's because of the talent specifically, or if it's just because we started talking about that in the late game and figuring out what exactly we needed to do to win. But either way, like once it got to level 20, we just found the really good engage. I think like Fade saw it, so he like called for the arrow, and then we just went off of that. And basically one team fight in the end game was all we were really looking for, just because Abathur Samurai is such a beast late game.
Oh yeah, it was a little terrifying. It definitely was. It was such good games. Before I let you go, this was awesome. Thank you so much for the games. Any shoutouts that you want to give? The floor is yours.
Shoutouts to the rest of my team. They played absolutely fantastic. I can't ask for a better team, honestly. The enemy team played quite well as well. So shoutouts to them as well. And then shout out to you, because I'm sure your casting was absolutely fantastic as always, and I look forward to watching the VODs.
Thank you so much, and thank you so much for the games. You have a great night, and congratulations on your victory.
Thank you. Have a great night as well.
Thank you.